Hello, and welcome to today's Telecoms.com Intelligence webinar, produced in association with MYCOM OSI. My name is Tim Skinner, and I'm the Content Manager for the Telecoms.com Intelligence series. Today, we're going to be talking about service and process management, and the profound effect this has on the consumer experience. Specifically, we'll be looking at how taking a proactive approach to service management and a business-driven view to processes can reduce churn and turnover of customers to almost zero. To make such a claim tangible, we've got a special guest from Vodafone to explain how they've actually done it. But first, here's just a quick introduction to today's Telecoms.com webinar host. You may not recognise MYCOM OSI. It's a new brand which only launched a couple of months ago. However, its roots are in two long-established firms. It is, in fact, born out of MYCOM's acquisition of OSI in June 2014, and both companies have actually been around for some 20 years. As it stands today, 8 out of the top 10 global CSP groups are among its customers, a figure ratified by the GSMA's 2014 Operator Group ranking. Both have been long-time providers of service assurance, while many of today's attendees may recognise MYCOM's Network Performance Management solution and OSI's Fault Management solution. So, on the agenda for today, we've got a fantastic case study coming up from Vodafone Netherlands. Eugene de Ruiter will be introducing Vodafone's experiences of utilising proactive service management to minimise consumer churn, and he's the ITIL Process Manager for the operator, where he's responsible for E2E Service Models, including network and IT systems. Eugene's been in process management for the best part of the last 15 years, holding various roles at both Vodafone and Philips. Following on from Eugene will be Roger Hosier, who's the Deputy CTO for MYCOM OSI, where he's responsible for guiding net expert products and applying technology to problems in the OSS industry. Roger's accumulated more than 30 years of experience in the software industry in a variety of capacities, and he'll be elaborating on a variety of other use cases and how taking a business-level view to service management can provide a massive boost to customer experience and subsequent retention. With Eugene and Roger at the helm today, you're in great hands for what will be a fantastic presentation. At the end of the webinar, we'll have some time for Q&A with both speakers. You can submit a question at any time during the presentation. Simply type your comment into the dialog box you can see on this page. Responses from either speaker will appear at the end of the presentation. So, without any further ado, Eugene, please, the stage is yours.
Hi, welcome to my presentation about proactive service management within Vodafone Netherlands. Let me introduce Vodafone Netherlands to you. Okay, as you can see, we accomplish a very quick nationwide 4G coverage with the Netherlands. There is a big growth on data usage, and of course, there is an increase in smartphone penetration, which is very important nowadays for our customers. Looking to the big number of customers, we've seen that proactive service management is very important for our organizations, where MYCOM will help us in, which I will explain later on in this presentation. Okay, now we have seen Vodafone Netherlands figures. I would like to introduce technology operations to you. Yeah, on this slide we will see our internal and external factors about reputation. We all know our internal factors, our challenges about focusing on cost, for instance, our quality. We should improve and keep our quality of services. Our external factors, our external world, is very important because they are much more challenging to manage. We are talking about our big outages which can expose to our customers, pressure on social media like Facebook and Twitter, and we need to be as transparent as much as possible to our organization, to our customers. Talking about social media, I mentioned it, Facebook and Twitter. We would like to avoid things like bad service or outage, so we would like to avoid negative media exposure as much as possible. And Vodafone Operations is responsible for that. Okay, this slide shows two things. On the bottom you see our node monitoring and fault management. So we see base stations, server farms, our network environment. And on top of that we see our customer and the services they are using. So we are talking about mobile data, mobile voice, a user who's ordering something on the internet, and a user who is using our colleagues, for instance, who is using office IT environments. So, in our opinion, service management is a bridge between NOC, the Network Operations Center, and customer service view. So we would like to close the gap between these two things. This slide explains something about our operations organization. We have a global NOC, which acts 24/7, which is doing the fault management operations. And we have our local service management departments, like the SMC front office, the service management front office, the service management back office, our ITIL team, which I'm part of, and I will explain later on the details of that, and the technology change management, which is responsible for the quality of our services. In the cloud next to that, you will see some activities from our local service management teams. We do things like active testing, online testing, passive probing, and we send out a daily 6 a.m. service report, which shows the status of current changes and incidents, for instance. And what I would also like to mention is that we don't make a difference between network and IT. We have one operations, network and IT together. Okay, the next slide shows, in fact, the different international organizations within Vodafone. On the right side, you see the NOC in Romania, who is responsible for the availability management and network fault management. Then the two boxes on the bottom, it's going about ITIL. In fact, we are responsible for to manage the corrective and preventive maintenance, so changes, and to have a good incident management process in place. Next to that, we have our Ericsson performance management, and in the end, again, as mentioned before, we have our technology chain management, responsible to improve and keep the quality of our services. Now, this picture shows a trend of our high and critical incidents within Vodafone within the last 8 years. In 2008, we outsourced some activities, and there you see an increase of incidents. This was the basis of introducing proactive service management. So we started investigating service management tooling, and MYCOM was the one who was chosen to do that, to do a part of it. And I will explain that what happened in the next slides. ITIL processes and service modeling. Now we will tell something about that. These are the ITIL processes. We introduce ITIL as a basis for all our operational processes, incident management, problem management, change management, configuration management. I'm part of the change and configuration management process together with my colleague Jules Donnels. With a link to incident management, these are the three most important processes regarding proactive service management. Regarding configuration and change management, I would like to tell you some details. We have, regarding configuration management, quite some automated updates for our service models, which I will explain later on. We need to have as less as possible updates of that in a manual basis. We have to ensure that the relations between these systems and services and customers are established as much as possible. And in the end, all these entities need to be consistent in all our systems. So we have our ticketing system, Remedy, but we also have MYCOM, the system where the end-to-end service models are maintained. All these elements need to be consistent in all the systems. That's what I would like to mention. Then we have the change management process. We have the CAP in place, of course. The CAP is short for Change Advisory Board, based on ITIL, where we will approve or reject changes. Then we make a difference between the impact and risk of changes. What is the difference between impact and risk? Impact means what will be the impact of a change on customer and product level if everything goes as expected. So if nothing goes wrong. And the risk means, imagine that the failover will not function as it should be, then we need to know what will be the impact then on customer and product level. And that's made possible with the tool we have for MYCOM and Remedy. Another important thing is that we need to communicate our changes, of course also incidents, but also changes to our customers as well, internal and external. And we will use we use Vodafone Disturbance Alert for this purpose. And finally, it's important to mention that we have implemented these processes European-wide, so with different organizations and countries. Okay, now I'll tell you something about the different building blocks, the methodology of service modeling. We have products, services, and resources. As you can see, we have an example mentioned in the slide, but I will tell a different example. A product, that's something what we sell to our customers. So, for instance, voicemail. Then we have a service, which is a functional building block of a product. So for voicemail, this could be removing a voicemail after you listen to it, or forwarding a voicemail message. That are two examples of a voicemail product, or service, for instance, sorry. And we have resources. That's a technical building block to make a service and or product available. So simply said, that's the hardware element for voicemail product. The next slide shows you a new element of our models. That's a customer and also areas. It's also new, what you see. So we can also determine not only the impact on a product, but also which customer will be affected by an incident or a change. And next to that, we can also do that area-based. Now we're going to tell you something about the building blocks. Let's start with the service models. For the main service, we created a service model, which contains the building blocks, what I explained before. The products, the services, the resources, and the corporate customers. Okay, based on areas. We model top-down, which means that we start with the customer, drill down to a product and a service, and then drill down to the hardware which enables these services and products. Then we have the service impact engine provided by MYCOM OSI, called the Net Expert tool, which is responsible for the propagation of the events, shows to the user who should keep an eye on it. And in the end, all of this is presented in a portal. Okay, this is actually the most important slide of the presentation. Okay, you cannot read text, but it is, because here you see the relation between products, services, and the resources. Please forgot the customers, because they are shown on top, but it would be too big to show. But on top you see the voicemail product, beneath that the services, as I explained before, and at the bottom you see the resources to make it possible. Okay, this is a use case for change management. Imagine that you select a specific hardware element, and you click the button to determine the impact. You will see which products/services and or customers will be affected by a change. The same can be done from a product point of view. If you select a product, click the button, you will see which customers will be affected by an incident or change. Okay, the next slide. Here you will see from an incident management point of view how it's done. At the bottom you see the models which takes care of the relations, the relations as I explained before. And on top of that you see the portal to show whether a service or customer is affected by an incident or not. So that's very simplified and it's very simple to show. The next case is a web-based interface, and this is a use case for change management. Yes, imagine that a certain element has been selected by the user. He clicks the button which will request the service models as shown in the bottom of the screen, and the tool will explain which service will be total outage, so it will be a red cross, and which will be partial or not available, which will be marked differently. So that's also, I think, a really simple example. Yeah. Okay, in the next one, it's going about proactive communication, in fact. That can be done for ongoing incidents and planned changes, even for emergent changes. So as soon as the impact of an incident or change is known by doing the steps as I explained before, the VDA tool can be used to inform the corporate customers, which are modeled, of course. So for instance, for incidents, this can be done as soon as an incident raised, occurred, but also as soon as an incident has been resolved. Then again, a VDA message can be sent to these customers so they are aware that their service is up and running again. Yeah, what's new into our end-to-end service models, that are the IP backbone elements, we call it like that. Of course, it's good to have end-to-end service models in place for regular resources, but what we saw in the past, we had some incidents, for instance, where the service was red, but the resources beneath that were still green. So there should be something wrong with the communication between A and B. Another factor is that more and more changes are taking place on these complex IP elements, which makes it possible to determine the impact on service and customer level on the IP-based change. So that's really important that we have that at this moment. Okay, now we got a summary of our service management aspect. Yeah, it's clear that we can now identify who or what is impacted by a change or incident. That can be done via one click. We can check different approaches for change, for instance. Imagine that a specific change with a certain scenario will have a certain impact. We can decide to do a change in a different way so that the impact will be less. We can check the impact on live status and greenfield status. What's the difference? We have two buttons to determine the impact. We have one, it's called the greenfield situation, and the button is called greenfield, and the other one is called snapshot. The difference is that the greenfield button doesn't take any events into account. So what's the impact of a change, for instance, if everything goes as expected? And the snapshot button will take the ongoing events into account. So the big advantage is that you run the snapshot situation 10 minutes before you will start with the change, because the impact can then be bigger than the initial planned impact. I explained before, the communication of change and incidents is very important nowadays for our customers, for our VIP customers, and we make this possible by the current possibilities, VDA. Finally, I will tell you a conclusion of our of a proactive service management. As you saw in the previous slides, we implemented our processes according to ITIL. That's explained well enough, I think. Then we have a link between our services and our key customers, our VIP customers, to make it possible to proactively manage the impact of our changes on our customers. So that's really important for our organization. Proactive service management, that's clear, I explained. What is also important, of course, we would like to keep our customers and increase the customer satisfaction leads to reducing churn for our key customers. I think that's clear. And how proactive service management works in change management to predict the impact of network resource changes. We are able to correlate customers to service and network resources, evaluate what scenarios so that you can choose which scenario has the least impact to the customer. We can do a very good communication to our customers, so sharing information about our change incidents. And in the end, we would like to reduce our SLA penalties, and MYCOM is making this possible to the impact analysis mainly. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and I would like to invite you for the Q&A session after this presentation.
Thank you, Eugen, for a very informative presentation on how to use proactive service management in change management. This is one of several use cases that the NetExpert Service Impact product from MYCOM OSI supports within some of the leading CSPs worldwide. In my presentation, I will focus on 5 service management use cases at Vodafone Netherlands and other Tier 1 CSPs. But first, a very quick intro into MYCOM OSI, since this is a new brand you may not know, even though we have been around for 20 years and have 8 out of the top 10 CSPs globally as customers. I'll add a bit more depth at the end, but to lay out our credentials in brief. MYCOM OSI was launched as a new telecom industry brand in November last year after MYCOM acquired OSI in June 2014. Both companies have been around for many years, MYCOM for 17, OSI for 25, and have been leading independent, best-in-class service assurance software vendors, MYCOM focusing on performance management and OSI on fault management, with both companies developing service management solutions over the last few years. MYCOM OSI has many Tier 1 CSP customers, and if you visit our website, you can find case studies, webinars with Maxis, Vodafone India, and others, over 25 use cases and data sheets, customer testimonials, and many customer and partners talking on video about their experiences with MYCOM OSI. So let's now proceed to the core of my presentation. To begin with, I would like to welcome everyone who is attending today. Similar to Eugen and Vodafone Netherlands, I would expect most of you to face daily challenges related with network complexity, customer expectations, and profitability pressure. Network complexity has led to a disjoint approach to managing customer experience, with CSPs only partially able to control their network infrastructure and service offerings. In other words, the network, service, and customer layers have been deliberately kept separated. This suboptimal approach has negatively impacted end-user experience, leading to increased churn and reducing the CSP's return on their network investments. And this is why CSPs, including Vodafone Netherlands, as we already have seen today, have looked into solutions to link network performance with service quality and customer experience. The shift to a more consolidated and yet more simplified layer view would enable CSPs to understand how network issues affect services and customers and take control of the situation in an effective and proactive manner. So let's have a look at some service management use cases that are relevant to Vodafone Netherlands and other Tier 1 CSPs who have been working with MYCOM OSI. The first use case is accelerating root cause analysis. The challenge you face is the need to resolve issues quickly to minimize impact on customers and meet SLAs for corporate customers. The solution is to visualize the severity level and seeing all root causes of an issue for quick and effective action. The result is the time required for root cause analysis has been reduced to almost zero. Our second use case is clarifying customer impact. The challenge here is the need to understand the impact of service degradations and outages on customers. The solution, modeling customer service and network resources dependencies and automating service impact assessment. The result, the time required to assess impact has been reduced to less than 1 minute for almost all cases. The third use case, prioritizing resolution tasks. The challenge, the need to focus on the most important services issues in terms of their commercial and financial impact. The solution, automatically identifying the issues to focus on by linking customers with services and network resources. The result, increased productivity as service engineers prioritize the right issues to resolve and communicate first. The fourth use case, reducing dispatch time. The challenge here, the need to dispatch tasks to technical resolution teams quickly with accurate and complete information. The solution is to automatically add customer, service, and network element data along with root cause info into the trouble tickets. The results, the increased accuracy and consistency, no typos, in trouble tickets and enhanced speed of response to tickets. The fifth use case, improving communication. The challenge, need to have appropriate customer-specific information at hand in 60 seconds. The solution, communicating to corporate customers using trouble tickets and preloaded relevant info. The result, the communication to impacted customers only in a few minutes using a uniform, standardized approach. The solution that supports all previous use cases is called NetExpert Service Impact. Many of you will be familiar with NetExpert, which you may have used or are currently using for fault management. The Service Impact offering is built on top of the NetExpert platform. So what is Service Impact? On a high level, it is a service management solution that links customer experience with service quality and network performance. Service Impact collects data from a variety of sources, including customer, service, and network layers. The solution is based on modeling the service customers use by considering the network resources these services rely on. Service Impact also uses automatic propagation of data across layers to quickly assess the impact of network and service issues on customers. In terms of key features and advantages, I would like to quickly refer to the following. The service modeling capability, which is used to develop models that can be connected to multiple other models. In this way, teams that depend on common resources and services do not have to recreate models that have already been built. The propagation engine, which is responsible for rapidly determining the impact on customers based on the defined models. This technology enables the near-to-real-time nature of the impact analysis. Since Service Impact is built on top of the NetExpert platform, it also provides the ability to build interfaces with network and other systems and support automation. This can accelerate mean time to resolve issues that affect customers. Create advanced logic to handle operational processes. This can help focus on the issues that actually affect services and customer experience. And of course, scale as infrastructure grows. This can dramatically lower initial investment. Finally, and before we go to the Q&A session, a few more words about MYCOM OSI. Although MYCOM OSI has already been briefly introduced, this will give you a bit more information. We have 250-plus staff and offices in Europe, U.S., Middle East, and Far East serving customers globally. We are 100% focused on telecom networks, like we have always been. So we have built up a reputation amongst our customers for deep telecom experience. MYCOM OSI creates and provides solutions for CSPs to cost-effectively deliver high-quality services to their customers. The MYCOM OSI solution empowers CSPs to optimize and achieve peak performance to their legacy, next-generation, and virtual networks, assure and monetize the quality of their services, and proactively manage their customers' experience. It is these solutions that help leading CSPs link network performance with service quality and customer experience and support their need to simplify, unify, and automate service assurance. From a solutions perspective, our focus is on network-centered performance management, fault management, and what has been the focus of today's webinar, service management. The solutions create intelligence out of billions of disparate data across multiple vendors, technologies, and domains. One of the key reasons our customers tell us that they like MYCOM OSI is the independence from equipment vendors and the ability to support multiple vendors out of the box. The solutions help you align your network, service, and customer teams. The solution empowers users with flexibility and autonomy. And again, a key reason why customers state that they choose MYCOM OSI products is the flexibility that they have to get their job done without needing expensive custom implementations. And finally, the solution allows you to deliver efficiencies through automation. This isn't about reducing staff. It's about freeing up valuable staff to work on higher value problems, with some customers reporting up to 30% OPEX savings. I would encourage you to visit the MYCOM OSI website to see all the case studies, use cases, testimonials, and reasons why so many Tier 1 CSPs are customers of MYCOM OSI. Thank you for your attention. For more details, please visit our website or email us. And now I think we're going to go into the Q&A session.
Well, thanks very much, guys, for sharing those insights with us. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, we have some time for Q&A with both Roger and Eugene. To submit a question at any time, please type it into the comments box on this page, and their answers will appear as text in the comment stream. There is no audio element to this Q&A. So it just remains for me to thank Roger, MYCOM OSI, Eugene and Vodafone Netherlands for making today's telecoms.com webinar possible, and to thank everyone who joined us for the presentation. I hope you found it useful, and please look out for upcoming webinars that will explore other key topics affecting the telecoms industry today. See you again next time. Bye-bye.